Hello, it's that time of year. If you're watching this later on, this is holiday season right now. So I've been reluctant to do one of these videos that you see on YouTube, gift guides, stocking stuffers, and what have you, because every artist is different. They use different media, they have different interests, subject matters, so what suits one person might not suit another. But I thought I would do this, just a short video, because I'm working on commissions now for presents, so we will crack on with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some things that I've been using that I absolutely love. A few of them I got this year, some have been from like a previous year or two, and then I'll move into other gift ideas that aren't supply related, but with an artist in mind. So let's start with this guy. Now, if you've been on my channel before, you've seen this plenty of times. I've done some videos about what I take for traveling and sketching, and this I have absolutely loved since I got it, and it's been on 2 trips now, and it's been on, you know, dozens and dozens around the city and little day trips. So it's a pencil case. I have it full right now with things that I've taken on my latest trip. I've had my fountain pens in here. When I'm going about the city, I have 2 Kaweco pens, if I can find those. I just did a reorganization of my desk, so now I can't find anything. I love these Kaweco pens. They're super small and fit really nicely in even a pocket. So I would highly recommend these, not to get sidetracked, but I love these pens. And I have a converter in them so that I can put whatever ink I want in, and I can put water resistant ink in, which is how I like to work when I'm sketching. I like to usually start with line drawing and then add watercolor to it afterwards. So then you do need the water resistant ink. Sometimes I work the opposite way, but this is still best for what I do. And I fill it with this ink. Now this is rebranded for Ley Lines, which is a really beautiful fountain pen store in Toronto, but this is the Diatramentis document ink. I have it in Urban Sepia, and I have it in Urban Gray. So those are the 2 that I most often use. And since I got all sidetracked, the other fountain pens that I have been taking with me are these Fude pens. They're the ones with the angled nib, if you can see that right there. And that allows you to do thick and thin lines with it. And for these, I have this one with the Urban Sepia ink, and then the other one is with the Platinum Carbon ink. Both water resistant and both critically good for fountain pens. There are some water resistant inks that should never be used in fountain pens, and they will clog it up, and you have basically wasted money on your fountain pen because the nib will get very clogged, and it's pretty difficult to rescue it from there. All right, back to this pen case. I will list below what I have been mentioning. So it's basically that. It's pen case with this little flappy center part. You can get a lot in these little pockets. And then I have colored pencils and travel brushes. One of my favorites is the Escoda Ultimo line. Very beautiful, robust brush that holds a lot of water. Really beautiful to use. There's also Rosemary & Co. is a brush maker in England. It's a family business, and they make beautiful brushes. And I've got a couple of these. Sorry, I'm really distracted because there's some noise going on that I think they're fixing the ventilation above our condo because it's been making a lot of noise and it just stopped. Anyways, so that's that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what I keep in here because I have videos which I'll post up in the corner for you to look at on what I keep in them. Going back to ink, I'd like to promote this brand. Ferris Wheel Press is a Toronto company, and they just make the most beautiful inks. Again, you'll see this swatched out in my other videos, but it's a beautiful green. It's named after a park in the city, Moss Park Green, and it's just a really nice company. When you're thinking about gifts too, it's really nice to have something that is so nicely packaged, and these come in beautiful boxes. This is the smaller of the large size ink bottles. There's a bigger one, it's like a rounded one, and then they have these little ones that you can kind of sample size, and they're really beautiful. Look at the bottle itself. So if I still had the box, I would show you that, but I do not. So that's it for inks and for travel storage accessories, except for, again, this may not be to everyone's cup of tea. I like to have things in front of me when I'm working on my commissions, and one of those things is colored pencils. I tend to work mostly in watercolor for commissions, but I will add in some colored pencils. And so I bought these pen holders. They can hold other things, of course. And I have everything out in front of me that I use, including fine liners, even knife and erasers and everything else, not just the colored pencils. But I even went out and bought another one recently because I wasn't using my Derwent Inktense pencils or my watercolor pencils enough because they were in boxes, they were in a drawer, and I just, now I'm using them. And I also have pastel pencils in this side as well. So that's probably it for storage, but kind of related is this. So I've had these on before. I keep my gouache in these palettes. It has a silicone top that keeps some air out. Now they do dry out eventually. I have them in little half pans that I've stuck into these little, I was going to say cubicles, but that's not the word. Just because I wanted to have different colors. Maybe, you know, I wasn't using one, and it would be a lot easier to take out and have cleaned up than if I had poured straight into these compartments. So, but I think if you were really committed, it would be a better idea to have them in the compartments themselves, just because they do get detached. These are pretty strong right now, but I have one, there's one that's kind of needs to be reattached, and I use a product called Museum Wax, which is fantastic. You know, you see people, and I use them to magnets when you're dealing with metal tins palettes, but you can't use that here, so that's when the Museum Wax really comes into play. Oh, you always have to remember which way, because they line up differently. And it's safe to use for when traveling, so I highly recommend that. Now, for some brands have full pans, and they only have full pans. One of them is Roman Szmal. I think they have some curated palettes with the half pans, but mostly they're full pans. And my collection was getting bigger, so I needed a better palette. I think this comes out, does it? No, it has, I think it has another one that slips inside here. Anyways, so this is a Paul Rubens palette. It's plastic, but it's a heavy duty plastic. I don't take this traveling. This is for studio work only. I tend to use the Roman Szmal combined with right now Schminke watercolors for my commissions. And I like the full pans for these, especially when I'm doing the commissions and there's like you know, large washes that I have to do and things like that. And I love the Roman Szmal greens, are just beautiful. The Aquarius green and the Hooker's green are two of my all-time favorites. They're my go-to for doing foliage. And then also the Pearline green, just beautiful. And again, going off topic wasn't what I was going to highlight, but these are fantastic artist quality paints in beautiful colors, beautiful range of colors, a lot more than this. Ignore the bottom row because those are sort of odds and ends of different brands. I often use the Buff Titanium and the Aquarius Gray. Also, their earth pigments, earth colors are just gorgeous too. So that's why this line is one that I go to all the time for doing my commission works when I'm doing especially house portraits. The colors just work so fantastically. So highly recommend Roman Szmal paints, but also highly recommend this large palette. Again, I use the Museum Wax to keep things from shifting about because there is a little bit of a line here. You could stuff something like foam or something like that, but I didn't want it getting wet and all that, so they're in with Museum Wax, and it's working so far. So those are two palettes that I recommend, and for the rest I'm going to shift from art supplies to books now. including one that I just got at the library, and I think I will be purchasing this. And sorry for the glare off of this. It's a library book, so it's covered in mylar. Is it mylar? Yeah. This is Drawing for Illustration by Martin Salisbury. And he goes through not so much the history, more the modern history of illustration. Some of the kind of groundbreaking books on the subject that he has used throughout his career. And then there's focus on different illustrators and how they work, what inspires them, and just, even if you don't read the text, which is fantastic, I've got my page there that I've got up to. The illustrations are just so inspiring. Again, some of them are from relatively recent history, and others are more modern. There's pictures of how people set up, all different types of ink nibs, and focus on different components like line, composition, tone, perspective. But then there's these more modern, contemporary focuses on different artists. Lino cut is a form of illustration, and just goes on, and just like that is just gorgeous. When I turned the page and saw that, it was just wow. You know, I really want to start working a lot more loose, and a lot less representational. Like, I just love the way these figures are drawn. You know they're figures, but the pattern of them and their whole composition is just really beautiful. And so, again, just for inspiration alone, it's a really fantastic book. And yeah, my my bookmarks tend to be scraps from painting. Another thing that I've been doing a lot more of this year is back to figure drawing with live models. And one of the best books that I've found is Jake Spicer's Figure Drawing. And again, it goes by things such as line, tone, texture, anatomy, and beautiful binding, by the way. And it also, there are, I think if I'll find one here, there's exercises for you to do step by step. And I believe there's focusing on different artists too, and how they treated the human form. Again, and it's beautiful. The binding isn't just attractive, it's made to lie flat so that you can really get a good idea of the different steps. Again, another focus on artists. A summary at the end of each chapter. It's a great book, and if you've been wanting to get into figure drawing, not even live drawing, you know, wanting to populate your sketches or paintings with more figures, this is one of the best books. Another book that I got this year is City Sketching by Jeanette Barnes and Paul Brandford. Heavily into urban sketching, and I always carry a sketchbook with me, and but I'm always interested in doing it a little bit differently. And these two artists are someone to inspire you for doing things just a little bit differently. I especially love Jeanette Barnes' work, and this is more her work. And again, there's exercises. Some people like that. I just kind of like dipping in and out sometimes. I have read this one from cover to cover. There's even a thing about escalators. And just the movement in her images, you know, it just gives you a really good sense of the busyness of urban life. This is Canning Town Station in London. This using different colored pens with the figures going about their day. I felt very inspired by this book. And again, this might not be your thing. This might not be a subject that you use. Even for subjects that I don't tend to work on. Some books are very good about making you think about the way you use line, color, texture, and that's where this one comes in. This is Botanical Art Techniques, edited by Carol Woodin and Robin A. Jess. This is based on the American Society of Botanical Artists. They're what you need to do in order to apply and be accepted by them. So there's a lot of steps for scaling images in regards to botanical, but all of these things can be used in other subjects. I particularly liked some of the ways colored pencils are used. There's even working on vellum, which I haven't tried with watercolor. You have to slowly build up your colors, and just gives a really different texture and feeling. More vellum work, just something I hadn't really thought of, but really intrigued about. Again, there's full chapters on one particular exercise, and then specialized techniques really had me going, because there's graphite and watercolor on vellum. Like, look at that, it's just beautiful, just so ethereal quality to it. Etching techniques. I don't think I'll go back to etching, but it's something that I love looking at. And like, look at the detail on portraying lichen. I'm a fan of lichen, so maybe that's why. But again, this is something that can be related to other forms of your artwork, and it's just a beautiful book. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is different courses and also subscription boxes as an idea for a gift. So there are lots of online tutorials out there. A lot of YouTubers have their own, and they have Patreon accounts. I still haven't done that myself, but I have been thinking about it. But one that I really do like is Domestika, because they have a range of courses in all sorts of categories, and they're very affordable. I feel like I can just dip in and have things going while I'm also working. One of the courses I just started taking is by LIHIT. He's an urban sketcher, and his course is on giving a different perspective. Really interesting way of approaching things. It's offered in English. There are other languages available, and with closed captioning, and there are courses taught in Spanish and other languages too, so there's a whole range. Another course that I've been taking is with Albert Kiefer, a Dutch artist. Again, my sort of thing, architectural sketching. He does it with colored markers, but it's something that you can easily use his approach to things with watercolor or whatever media you want. But the one that is my most favorite on all of here is Illustrating Nature, Creative Exploration with Laura McKendry. She's a British artist, illustrator, and I just simply love the way she does her mark making, the texture, the looseness. I just love her course, and I've gone back to different portions of the course just to get inspired, and I highly recommend that. And during lockdown, I found out about Umber Studios. They're a studio based in Stroud in the UK, but they have online courses in figure drawing, portrait drawing. There's usually a free one at the end of the month on a Sunday, but what would be really nice as a gift would be a subscription for their online sessions and for their past videos. And I've done a couple of them. I really enjoyed it. I can't always do it on the Sunday for free, so I think it would be a really nice idea as a gift to give this to myself or to another artist who maybe doesn't have live figure drawing in their area, and or just can't get out to them when they do. So it's £9.50 a month. You can access it from anywhere. And the next things are subscription boxes. I've had a few, and two of them, well, we all know how they kind of work. You subscribe to a box. It comes, depending on the company, every month, maybe every 3 months. This one is UK based, and to send it to North America, it's £8. I don't know what it is to the rest of Europe. I think it's may even be free in the UK. Don't quote me on that. And it just had some really interesting things. It comes with, a work of art by an artist to inspire you. There's always something to do the use the media on. There's a theme. So it kind of gets the juices flowing, especially if you've been out of the, art making side of things and you want to jump back in or get a loved one to get inspired and get drawing or painting again. I think these work really well as a gift. And you can do one-off, monthly, 3 months, 6 months, or the whole year. The other one that I've had is a US-based subscription service called Sketchbox, and it is $10 to ship to Canada. It's $6.50 in the US and $15 in other places around the world. And it works about the same. The other one comes with a suite. This one comes with a sticker. Still comes with artwork, a little description on the media that's included in the box. And yeah, it's about the same quality of media. They are artist quality. It's not, children's kind of school quality. It's real good quality artist products, and it just does inspire you. There might be months that I'm not really into markers, especially alcohol-based markers, but there's something usually that you'll like, and you can go back to their past boxes and see. You can pick from there instead of subscription. And so just to recap, what would I appreciate as an artist from someone giving me a gift? Well, it is difficult in some ways to buy art supplies for an artist unless you know that there's something in particular that they've been looking at. I know it's difficult to buy big sets that you may want because it's an expenditure, so you may not buy that for yourself, but maybe a loved one would like to buy that for you. Some artists don't like big sets because I'm not going to use all the colors that are in them, like 120 set of colored pencils. They may have a very specific subject that they normally draw or paint, and they wouldn't use half of those colors. So it can be difficult. That's when gift cards come in handy, so that they can pick. And it's nice, after the Christmas period, to go shopping for the things that you needed when you're feeling a little broke yourself and need to get new supplies in because you're low on things. So it's always nice to have that gift card. And there's a lot of independent shops in Toronto. There's Gwortzman's, and there's Articulations in the Junction, really great for gift giving, but also offer gift cards. And then there's, of course, the big names like Jackson's and Blick's in the States. So those are always useful. Another thing is book purchases. Maybe they've created a list of books online that you can draw from, pun intended, or just, I have a review on my website. I'll post that underneath in the description for some recommendations that I have for art related books and photography books. And then there are the courses that I talked about, subscription for them, or a gift card for like Domestika, so they can choose their own courses that they want to take. And that's my cat. And then there's the subscription boxes. Now there's more to choose from than the two that I showed. Those just happen to be the two that I have had the most. I think I had a couple boxes from Upcrate. I've since put the kibosh on that because I just have enough supplies. I don't need any more supplies, and I like what I like. But wanting to, maybe someone in your life has said that they want to get back into art and they don't know where to start, those subscription boxes are a great little starter pack for them to get going. Comes with everything they need. It comes with the substrate to work on, like be it paper, or sometimes it'll come with little canvas boards. So anyways, books, gift cards, subscriptions, learning, art supplies, they're all good. You need to know who you're buying for and judge from that whether they like to pick their own things or not, or if they want those big purchases like, you know, a box of Snellier oil pastels or something that they've been wanting for so long, but felt uncomfortable with treating themselves. So anyways, that's just a little taster for things. Again, I have on my website all the book reviews, and then I have in the past videos for different things that I've tried out. And on my website I also have color charts, so if there's something that you've seen here that you liked, like the inks, the colors of them, those color charts are on my website. So have a happy holiday season, stay healthy, and get creating. Use this time. Thanks so much. Bye.